I stay posted inside with my Drake.
Not the guy, not the one that just got arrested for, whatever, for endangering a minor. I assume that's like a nicer way of saying.
Drake Bell.
Yeah. I figured you didn't mean that Drake.
Posted inside with Drake Bell.
Stay posted inside with my Josh.
Did you guys hear about that though?
Yeah, no, that's fucked.
Yeah.
I met him in person like within the last year.
Yeah, I worked his show. I mixed his show.
You were there, yeah.
We've had this moment like
him?
6 times.
Yeah. You were like, Drake Bell, hello. You weren't going to meet me now. Or did you just see him on stage?
I will play the Drake and Josh.
No, he hung out. Everybody met him.
Yeah, that was interesting.
He met all the kids, huh?
But like, what did he actually get arrested for?
Child endangerment.
He groomed a 15-year-old child and had sex with him, I think.
Him?
Yeah, he's a pedophile.
Well,
in Tolkien mythology, consent is merely a spiritual concept to the elves.
I mean, anyone that's 15 in that world is like basically 4 by, because like hobbits are like still children when they're 50, right? Think about it.
Are we all?
Right.
Hobbits are still children when they get down to it.
Everybody knows this. Yeah.
Aren't we all just kind of like big grown-up kids when you really get down to it?
Aren't all hobbits just Andy Milonakis? Isn't that just how that works?
Don't they all? At the end of the day, don't all hobbits have the Andy Milonakis disease? When you get down to it, like saying that like that's some salt of the earth like analogy. Count your blessings because, as the old saying goes, all hobbits have the Andy Milonakis disease. So count your blessings. That's what that means.
The old adage goes.
The Andy Milonakis disease.
They're like, I'm afraid your son has the Andy Milonakis disease.
The Andy Milonakis show disease.
What, where he's got pee on his head, but he's not a pee head?
Unfortunately, this is a much more severe case. He has what's called child hangoutitis. He's going to be a chill child his whole life who just hangs out.
Just kind of hangs out.
Child chillingitis.
Hold on. I want to see what the fuck happened with
Ma'am, your son has a condition I've got to tell you about. Is it autism? I'm afraid it's something far, far more sinister.
Far more bleak.
He has a advanced 3rd-degree terminal case of Andy Milonakis disease.
He's going to be forced to live a life of eating Doritos and a steady diet of Mountain Dew and Mortal Kombat. But fear not, because MTV is going to give him a deal.
Do not ever put peas on his head, no matter what you do. Or call him a pea head.
Do not.
Don't
ever do it.
Tony, what's up? What are you fucking doing? You're so concentrated on some fucking random shit. We're in a podcast.
Tony's corner.
It turns out that it was a girl.
Tony, maybe just chill on the research right now. I think we're good.
I'm gonna. I just looked up a list of celebrities who have sexually assaulted people that are now banned from the. That are now canceled from the public eye.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe just don't hit enter on that.
This is a fun show.
Okay. Yeah, let's maybe.
It's like 30. Maybe we should go
search
this is ranking them from most sexually assaulty to least. So let's go.
This is Watch Mojo, Me Too's version.
Oh my god! Top 10 ranked.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Damn it.
Yeah, really great topic to start a funny podcast with, Tony.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Just go right into it. Jesus.
You said I'm posted with my Drake, and then it made me think of Drake Bell, and he's actually assaulted people.
Yeah, it's our fault. It's my fault for sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I shouldn't have said a word.
I'm gonna flood your lungs with liquid and drown you. How about that?
With smoke?
What if I was talking about a dragon?
Unlikely.
You could have taken it a dragon direction.
What if I was talking about an ancient dragon?
What if I was trying to segue to Skyrim, Tony?
Drake Bell's judge is just like, you have done horrible things, Mr. Bell.
Oh, that dude! Did you watch? I mean, he had the graveliest voice. Everyone was just like, "Get this man some fucking water."
Yeah,
He was just
I watched
like-
4 seconds of it. And I was like, I'm
Me
not going
too.
to watch Drake Bell's hearing on.
Yeah, no, I just heard his voice. And he was like, "It's the fucking
Jake
crypt keeper." It's like, dog,
yeah.
poor guy. Anyway,
Rip.
yeah, that's
should know. Rest in pieces because he sexually assaulted someone.
God
not dead.
damn it. He's
Yeah, but he will be eventually.
Tony,
as-
shut the
as
fuck
we
up
all
real
will.
quick.
thank God. That was actually really. That was a good. I needed that one.
I forgot something.
Go on.
No, we gotta get back to you asking what did you forget? Not go on. Not get on with it.
I'm just, like, what did you fucking forget?
What did?
Yeah,
what
just
did,
at least ask me what I forgot every episode.
What
from
did
now
you
on.
forget?
Not this.
What did you forget, Connor?
Not just this. All right, go ahead.
And we're sitting here waiting.
I fucking forgot to introduce the podcast.
Got you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me fucking tell you something. It is Monday. If you're listening to this the day it comes out, July 26th, 2021. Welcome to another episode of Woke and Boke. Boom! That's motherfucking right. Episode 95 to be exact. I am your host, Connor Boyd. You may recognize me from the internet or social media applications. Welcome. If this is your first episode, we usually don't talk about horrific predatorial behavior in the first 8 minutes. Thanks, Tony. But yeah, that's me. What up? Joined, as always, by my best friends from the great Gateway to the West, St. Louis, Missouri. We have Max Sandza on the show this evening. The God, the great, the one and only. Max, how are you?
I'm good.
Shit was
What's
a
up?
movie. Dope. Also joining us as usual is the most inappropriate man that I've ever met in my entire life. We have Tony.
What up? Porridge
do-
fingers. That's your new name.
That sounds close to a racial slur. I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Porridge fingers?
Yeah. I don't know. Somehow.
Yeah, well, you can keep hiding the fact that you stick your fingers into porridge, but I'll find ways to call you out for it. If I can't just call you porridge fingers.
Let's not talk about this right now.
Let's not get into it.
That is my bad.
How are you doing in
It is.
general, sir?
I'm well. That's all.
Great info.
Sick.
Every week we get together to catch up on the latest and shit like video games, current events, movies, music, manga, comic books, TV shows, whatever the fuck you want,
Poopy doopy smelly pants. Yeah.
and more than that also. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you're not already doing so. If you're listening to this, we'd appreciate a sub, even if you don't watch. And you can also hop into our Discord, which now has mods. Shout out to Marcus and them. You can also follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts if you want the audio only version so you don't miss a single episode. Also follow us on Twitter at WokenBokePod and Instagram at WokenBokePodcast to get updates on the podcast every week, and reach out to our Gmail, wokenbokepodcast@gmail.com with your questions, comments, and suggestions, and we will read them on the show. And links to all these are listed in the show description. Like I've said before, it is WOKENBOKEPODCAST. Okay? Just wake and the letter N, bake with O's instead of A. It's pretty simple. Anyways, fellas,
Math.
what's up?
What's going on?
rolling.
What's happening?
We're chilling.
You know,
You know, we're vibing. Should I cut out that FKA Twigs joke, or was that really hilarious? I'm gonna cut it out. I'm gonna cut it
I'm gonna get
out.
rid of it.
I'm pretty scared that we even just talked about all that at the beginning of the pod, but you know what? It's whatever.
Next time,
Tony's like, well,
Well, we're gonna get into
next time
this.
do better, I would say.
And that's how it is.
do better. Dude, speaking of which, this guy on TikTok, Max, you probably know Joe Robe, the guy who's like, do better. You would like stitch videos and be like,
You probably know
Maybe.
Joe Rogan.
It's like very skinny, blonde. Look him up. JOROBE, TikTok. Dude came out. Turns out he's a pedophile.
Oh,
And he was this guy who would
Great.
chastise everybody and tell them to do better, like when they would make fun of a fat person. But he's a fucking pedophile.
Oh, god damn it. Dude, I hate the world.
Yeah, and like Nick Foster, I remember, was like always beefing with him because he thought he was bullshit. And he would even point out that his friend was called out for grooming, and he never addressed it, which I thought was really sus. And then months and months and months go down the line, and now he's like comes out. He's been grooming fucking kids, and like he tried to buy like rent a hotel room for the night of a kid's 18th birthday and bring his friend, who he's like, if they're also 18, they should come. Like.
Yeah,
Like,
this guy's not familiar, and I'm glad.
Hopped into Zoom chats with like 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds and asked them like what their BDSM kinks are and shit.
No.
Terrible. If you know Joe Robe, fuck Joe Robe.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be careful, guys. Not everyone who's like their entire brand is just chastising people for tone policing. Not all of them are going to be good people, especially when they're like really fucking annoying and that's their entire thing is being that.
Yep.
And their entire thing is being a snooty, glasses-wearing, skinny soy boy cunt about fucking everything. They might be a rapist. In fact, they probably are. So keep your eyes.
There's a thing called compensation. And,
Yes,
there's a line. But, yeah. It's like when you commodify, like, being better than somebody, you got some
when you
skeletons.
commodify moral purity.
Yeah.
Speaking of moral purity and thinking you're better than other people, Tony, you just watched it. Max, that dude, the Joe Budden fucking destroys his career for 26 minutes video.
It's fantastic.
Quite incredible.
Fantastic journalism.
I recommend y'all go out and look for it. It's just called, it's a YouTube video. Joe Budden destroys his podcast for 26 minutes straight.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys got like an idea of what happened there. I tried to show that to Maxwell and Grant, and they were just like, I don't even know what they're talking about. I'm just stressed out. Like, all right.
It's like, well, yeah.
Cool alert.
Like-
Cool alert. Fucking cool guy alert.
I feel like I could pretty easily. I've never watched a single episode, but I could pretty easily like feel the awkward vibes of him being kind of cunty.
Yeah. Because they would get into actual fights on the air.
Yeah.
He's like, I wouldn't fight you. I would not. If I was you, I would not fight me. It's like
he's like, I don't play like that, and then it just shows a screenshot
I don't move
of
like that.
a literal compilation of all the times he's like
Played
threatened.
like that?
He's pretended to fight Maul, like he stood up and started like grabbing Maul.
Oh,
Yeah, if you guys don't know what the Joe Budden podcast is, basically Joe Budden started a podcast around 2016 when he was beefing with Drake. This was during like when he was on Everyday Struggle on Complex, then he left that and then kind of doubled down on the podcast. When I moved to New York in 2018, I discovered it when Drake started, or when Pusha T started beefing with Drake. That kind of is what got me hooked because they were like reacted to verses and stuff like that. I was like, this is pretty lit. I listened to the goddamn podcast twice a week, 2.5 hour, 3 hour episodes twice a week for 2 years straight. Then I stopped, and then I picked back up again. And then it turned out they were not on very good terms.
nah.
And you know, Joe Budden basically fired his co-host, and now they're going on to make their own podcast, and it's just literally better than his podcast is now. And I think his podcast, he may even be ending it. I don't know. That's what I saw a tweet. Someone was like, "Is the podcast just over now?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?" Or something like that. And I'm
I don't
like,
know why.
It was literally like he had gotten $250 million offers from certain places to buy the podcast.
Yeah.
And he
It's never
fucked
enough
that,
for some people.
and he fucked that up.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Because he went from getting like millions of views on every episode to like 5 figures to like 30K.
Like his clip compilations, because he doesn't upload full episodes anymore because he paywalled everything because he's a sick fuck.
Hell yeah, dude.
Because he's trying to alienate his audience as much as possible so that they'll be like fanaticists for him
Yeah,
because he's so clearly in the wrong.
So he can only have yes men around him.
Right. And dude, the clip at the end of that too, where they make fun of his Amiri hat, and he's like, "No, you don't just get to move on from that. I'm the boss." Like,
bro, I had to turn it off during that. That's when I was just like,
bro,
this is a child.
Yeah,
This is a child.
The power has gone to his head so hardcore. But anyways, yeah, his co-hosts get like 400K views every episode now, and the clip compilations he uploads literally get like 50K. Yeah. And he has like other podcasts, and like the clips from those podcasts get like 5,000 views. It's pathetic. The whole key was their friendship, and that Rory and Mal were like the comic relief to Joe's anger. And now it's just Joe with two guys sitting to his right and left who are like just random friends he knows, and they get paid so little. They get paid a salary. Shit is crazy, dude.
And what? So Joe didn't want to pay some of the $250 million they were offered to those two guys?
No. So I mean, if you watched it, they basically explained that they were on a percentage-based profit agreement. So obviously, you have to know how much profit there is to know what percentage you get. And so they never received any formal accounting. It was just like a 5-line thing in the body of an email. And, you know, if you're a partner of a company, that's not how you receive accounting. You get like official documents and shit like that. You get like filed documents and
itemized shit.
That was like a problem as far as like 2018. And then there was a $400,000 accounting mistake. They didn't even believe it was Joe who was responsible for it. They blamed the firm they hired because they sat behind the expense of hiring that firm to do the accounting. And Joe freaked out on them. And when the podcast first started, the two co-hosts are Rory and Mal. When Rory first wanted to start getting a contract, he said, "Hey, I think it would be a good idea for us to have a contract." Joe like freaked the fuck out. He also freaked out when their like money was tight and people were complaining about being underpaid and overworked. And like they were like, "Hey, my first Patreon check, let's just give it to the crew." And he freaked the fuck out about that too. Like, dude, he's so clearly fucking wrong.
Yeah, again, another case of like the loudest fucking person is the guiltiest. Because his whole fucking MO is like, you know, equity and like ownership for artists, and you know, just that whole fucking mentality of like getting what's yours in an industry that's notorious for fucking you over. And then now he's entering this other new industry that's massive, and he's just doing the same shit that other people did to him. And it's just like the lack of awareness is astounding. It's just, but it's like it goes so much deeper than that.
He's almost a sociopath.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
The cognitive dissonance is almost sociopathic.
It has to be like there's a point where it becomes intentional.
Yeah,
and it's just like he's way beyond that.
He changed his profile pictures to like Galactus because he destroys everything he builds. You know, like
beautiful.
Because he fucked up his music career because he got kicked out of a super group with like Royce da 5'9" and other people. That was a Shady Records thing. They were going to tour and be huge. He fucked that up because he didn't honor the contract and he was like a piece of shit.
Nice.
Then he fucked up Everyday's Struggle. You know, part of his reasoning was like they wouldn't let him smoke in the bathroom, and he's like, that's disrespectful. So he got fired from Complex. Then he has his podcast. Now he fucks that up. All the comments are his fans being like, this is so disappointing. This is so shitty. Like, this podcast sucks now.
Yeah.
And like, it's so funny, people that are like loyal to Joe. It's like, you're such a fucking crusty goober fucking loser.
Yeah.
How could you be loyal to this guy? Parks is the fucking worst because I've always hated Parks on the show, but I always thought I was weird for hating him because he's like nice and all the fans liked him. But like, he always had the safest takes. Yeah. Always like literally the safest takes that you've ever fucking heard. And it turns out he's just Joe's fucking lapdog.
Yeah, I mean, that dude's just got like rat vibes.
Yeah, he sucks. He's ugly as shit. Sounds like he's fucking congested. He's a gross looking fuck. Fuck Parks. Parks Music, if you're listening to this, fuck you, bro.
Yeah, we'll fight you.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
But anyways, that video, if you guys want to check it out, go peep it. I was on another podcast, by the way, Learning to Lose. My boy Patrick out in Malibu, near Malibu, has like a recovery house that like is like crazy. It's like all these very recently former addicts living there, and they just do a podcast every week. And he's been sober for 16 years, and like we just went on. He was just like really chill and like very just like he thought Prometheus was the best sci-fi movie of all time. And I was like, damn, that's definitely an opinion. I was like, he was very like unapologetic and like he loves the prequel movies and shit. Like we talked for a while, and I mentioned, I was like, everybody go check out that video because it's crazy. I mentioned the video I'm talking about, but anywho, we can move on. I haven't seen the first one. I was completely I was high out of my fucking gourd when I watched it. But I think you should leave. I haven't seen the new season.
Yeah. It's pretty funny, man. Like there's some good shit in there. It's a sketch show, so it's just like it's either gonna be the dumbest shit you've ever seen or the funniest shit you've ever seen.
I think you should leave. That's the name of what on Netflix?
Yeah, it's inspired by you, Tony.
Exactly.
Oh.
Get absolutely wrecked.
Get fucking crushed, dude.
Walked right into that one.
You did.
To be honest.
You did.
Cheated up for
Don't
you.
do it again.
Not only does it make sense, but I walked right into it.
That's what we would call a double-edged sword.
That's what we call a big fat doozy.
A doozer dowser. But yeah, no, that's funny.
What is it, pray tell?
It's like a sketch variety show with Tim Robinson, who
you know what? I have seen it actually. I have seen it. I know that name now reminds me.
Oh yeah, that shit's
no, it was actually pretty funny. That first season, yeah.
It's a great show.
I remember it being very funny. I just can't recall any of it.
And it goes by so fast because the episodes are like 14 minutes long. So all the skits are like 3 minutes long.
Isn't it like it's basically just like a tall guy that has like sort of like a dead in the eyes type look, and he's just kind of like deadpan.
He looks like a Bob's Burgers character come to life.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And he just
yes, this is perfect.
Yeah, and he just goes around and does just goofy stuff.
Yeah, he's just a goof.
He just goes around and does goofy stuff.
Just goofs around.
Just a goof, a gaff, and a giffly gob. Yeah,
he's a goofy guy.
Say that.
He is a goofy guy.
Please don't ever speak about my race in that fashion. Oh wait, Max, did you see the cut of that yet or no?
Oh yeah, that shit was awesome.
Thank you.
That shit was so awesome,
dude.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of skits, I'm in a Baggy Pants film skits. It's coming out soon. I should send it to you, Tony. There's a cut of it. It's pretty funny.
Very funny.
Yeah, but the way they cut that shit together was I literally have not cried laughing at my own shit in a long time like that. Just like, what are these everlast?
That was the thing is like, not to just go off on this tangent, but it was one of those things where I'm watching it and I'm like, all right, let's see where this goes. And then you show up and I'm just like, this just needs to be 20 minutes long. This just needs to go.
We must have done like 10 takes and they were like, they had to make that montage because I literally said so much shit.
It's just like someone just put a crank in your back and just said go. They're just like, all right, he's going to be good for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just riff central.
Is the new I Think You Should Leave pretty similar to the old one? Like how it's shot, how it looks like?
It's pretty faithful. Like I think one of my favorite bits is this dude's at a fucking ghost, it's like a ghost tour, like a haunted house tour. And it's like 9:00 at night. And the tour guide's just like, oh yeah, you guys can curse. And I don't give a damn what you do. And so Tim Robinson's just like, oh, that's fucking sick. Like, hey, do any crazy ghost fuckers pop out of the fucking wall and come all over with a big cum shot with a huge dick? The guy's just like, I need you to calm down. I mean, sure. It's just stupid shit like that. It's fantastic.
Good stuff.
It's a great bit. Yeah,
That's good
just
stuff.
curse.
That's good. That's good.
It's good. That's
that sounds
that's the bit,
good.
but I said it differently.
Yeah, definitely did that.
Yeah,
Cool. Dope. I'm gonna
It's
check
funny.
it out. Because the first one was funny.
it is good.
Just
It's good time.
don't remember it. That's it. Yeah, man. Tony, you want to talk about Black Widow a little bit more? I think we touched on it, but that shit
We
looked
did
like
touch on
ass.
Yeah, like I guess thinking about it for another week, like it was, and neither of you have seen it yet, right?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, and
Can't
you're
say
gonna see
I
it soon, right?
put my hand in a garbage disposal either.
Yeah, I think I'm good on it.
No, I mean, it was. I think I don't remember if I said this last time, but like the action.
Two of
was
my
like
least favorite things: a Marvel movie and a movie starring and about a woman. Two of the worst things I could possibly.
Absolutely, and they really held it back. I mean, it was mostly women in this movie, which is like, ugh.
Oh my god! Sleepy time.
I know.
What are you going to talk about? Your periods? Get out of here.
Get out of
They
here.
do talk about that a lot. They talk about how they got their whole like uterus and fallopian
Gross.
tube shit like pulled out when they became Black Widows because that's
I'm
like
sorry. I'm sorry. What?
like they
Can you elaborate?
So like basically
Their fallopian tubes and uteruses were removed upon being an agent, so they couldn't reproduce.
Yeah, so like basically the story is, when Black Widow's young, her and her sister are part of this sleeper agent family in America. Not sleeper agents, they know who they are. They're not like programmed or whatever. But the Shield comes after them one day, so they escape. And their dad, who's actually just another unrelated person, Soviet agent, he gives them to the Red Room, which is like a organization that takes young girls, traffics them, and then turns them into like mindless killers, pretty much.
That's
And that's what Scarlett Johansson is. She grew up in that program, and that's
kind of like what feminism does today, when you think about it.
it's an allegory. Yeah, no. So, where was I going with that? So yeah, I guess they grow up and they take out. They don't want them to have kids or whatever. And then Scarlett Johansson got out of that by killing the leader of it, and he also.
Oh, so she didn't get her pussy removed.
No, she did. She grew up through the program, but she just got out of it eventually one day by killing the leader of it, or so she thought.
So she thought.
And she should have killed the leader's daughter too, or so she thought.
So she thought.
But
Looks
yeah,
boring
I
as
mean-
fuck.
the beginning of the movie was like a 2000s like drama crime TV show, and then it hits the piano rendition of Smells Like Teen Spirit, and then it goes into like the modern Marvel vibe or whatever, but it's still fine. And then they just get into this huge fucking action scene where they're busting a dude out of prison, and there's an avalanche coming down on the prison, and like they got to swoop in on a helicopter and shit. And I mean, it's pretty cool action, I would say. But the final act of the movie is just weird. Like, I don't know. It
has
just
that
like
awesome
fell apart.
Florence Pugh fucking
Yeah,
backflip.
the part where Florence
Explosion.
Pug fucking kills herself looked like shit. She's like, I'm sorry. Like, it looked like a movie tie-in video game.
They
Looked like
show
it-
that in the trailer where she sticks like a sword in the engine and it blows up.
No, that just clip was going on Twitter because it looked that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it looks like
that-
someone
no,
made
that-
it in like iMovie HD.
It's like some other stuff that doesn't make sense is like you see in the trailer too. They're falling, and there's like a large like flat piece of debris, and she like slides back on that and slows herself down with her sword, and it's like, but how are you falling? Like the physics don't make sense. Like
Right.
that piece is falling, and she's falling with it. So how is she falling fat? Like like you can't.
I don't know, dude.
How can you slow yourself down on a piece of debris that's falling?
I
The
don't
movie
know,
seems
dude.
like it's a pile of shit, to be quite frank with you.
No, but yeah, it
It do be ass.
honestly though it was fine.
don't
Like
know,
it was middle of the road Marvel. It was not as bad as Loki. That show is
Yeah.
the worst thing that Marvel's done. Worse than any of the movies. Worse
I
than
don't know, dude.
Captain Marvel. Worse than whatever else
I
came
might,
out.
might watch it with. I might watch the first episode of Loki. Try and get Maxwell and Grant to watch it so we can rip it apart.
It could have been, yeah, no, please do, because like not only from like a filmmaking perspective of just like it's edited horribly, the fight scenes are the worst in any Marvel media ever. The casting is weird. Like the agents of the TVA are all like out of shape or like 20-year-old girls or like, this doesn't make any sense. They completely fucking nerf Loki.
Yeah, you
Like,
already
he's
talked about this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you already last episode you were like, he fights Thor 1-on-1
Oh, that okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly.
No,
but
I'll
yeah,
definitely-
please watch it because I want to talk to you
Calm
about
down.
it.
Calm down.
Please, if you just fit that in your schedule, watch it.
Did you guys catch Space Jam, by the way?
No.
Oh my Christ.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
Oh no.
It
Give
is.
us a synopsis.
It like I said this on Learning to Lose. It feels like the culmination of the sort of mechanistic, violent exploitation of capitalism in the most like potent pill form. Like it's just watching it feels
Distilled.
like you're drinking like blood from a genocide. That's
Let's
what it feels
go.
like.
Children's
It feels
blood.
like there's so much blood spilt to make that movie. In like the slavery supply chain of exploitation of capitalism, like it just feels like pure violence. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's like LeBron like fucking goes to Warner Brothers to get pitched a movie. Like basically it's the movie like literally admits that like we're going to just make movies with AI in the future. Because it's like they're pitching him as like, look, LeBron, we can scan you into the movies and put you in any movie you want. We can put you in Harry Potter. We can put you in The Matrix. We can do whatever. So it's like foreshadowing for the movie, but it's also foreshadowing for reality. Like that's what they're going to do. And then like LeBron has like some assistant is like trying to like take LeBron to like the next part of the studio or whatever. And he gets like, he detaches from them and they lose him. And then for absolutely no reason, he gets to like a giant server room and just decides to walk in it. And with his kid, I guess. And then goes in, did this server verse. And then, yeah, Don Cheadle plays like this AI that wants fame and attention. And he has to use LeBron James and beat him in a basketball
Why?
competition because that's gonna be how it is. The most frightening thing about the movie, well, first of all, the scene where he's gathering all the Looney Tunes is a 1:45 sequence. Like it just like that. Like they just hop through all these different IPs and
And Rick and
get all
Morty's
these people.
there.
Rick and Morty just shows up out of nowhere
Seriously?
and drops Tasmanian Devil on their like little spacecraft.
Like actually.
Yep.
Yes, literally.
Wow. Okay.
That was a
Voice
scene I
joke.
saw on Twitter.
No, literally Rick and Morty. Mad Max, Austin Powers, The Matrix, Harry Potter, all this shit is in
So
this
it's
movie.
like some Ready Player One shit.
Yeah, but like
Where it's
it's
like every
fucking
IP
terrible,
they own.
man. It's like
No. Yeah.
like Don Cheadle's like King Kong ain't got shit on me, like the Training Day, like quote, and then King Kong's in the audience. He's like, it's just like the most dumb shit ever. The most frightening part is when the Looney Tunes, you see them in 2D, and it's like, oh, what a refreshing like. They're just 2D dope like crazy cartoons and that never die. But then they become 3-dimensional, and
Oh.
it becomes like those Jose Vergara like 3D like crazy. It's horrifying, and like Bugs Bunny is like the whole time like he looks horrifying. They look horrifying,
Nope.
and LeBron's terrible in it, and everything about it's really bad.
Yeah. I heard his
yeah.
acting was
I gave it a
rough.
half star on Letterboxd.
You know,
It's not
you-
good, but it
you
was
know
a
why-
riot to make fun of. I will say that if you get high and make fun of it and just gawk at
Just
it,
do
yeah,
that?
it's fun.
Nice.
You know
Gawk
why?
3000.
Why I knew it wasn't going to be any good is because
It's space.
part of
Jam.
the part of the like the only cool parts about the original one is that the team that he faced was like real NBA players. Like their
Well, they do
powers
that
were
again
stolen.
too, but it's like
Or
they
the-
make them too complex. They're like Dark Souls bosses. Like they're just like they have all these weird powers, and they're like one's a dragon, one's like this, one's that.
Do they steal powers from real NBA players?
No, they just put the NBA players in the game, so it's like actually that. It's not stealing their powers.
Oh,
It's
which
just
players?
they abduct the players. It's like, I don't know, like fucking eyebrow guy and
Oh, Anthony
fucking
Davis.
fucking that, and there's some WNBA player in it too. You know, representation.
Of course.
It's ass, bro.
Well,
But
then,
it
shit,
was
then it's
very
probably
funny
good.
to make fun of because there's literally a sequence where Austin Powers they just do a hard cut to the Austin Powers like transition where it's like his face just pops up and there's like a swirl behind him. There's just a hard cut to that, and it's like maybe the most jarring cut in cinematic history.
Like Mike Myers is there.
Apart from the first shot, the first frame of the movie after the Warner Brothers logo, they just hard cut to a medium like close up of his mom talking. There's no establishing shot. There's nothing. It's just like you
Beautiful.
skip to the middle of the movie. It's bizarre.
Beautiful.
Terrible. What were you asking though last time?
Oh goddamn! I forget.
God damn.
But I also watched Black Hawk Down.
Nice.
Which is funny because I remember liking that movie because it's like sick action. It's like all of it is just action. It's just shooting people and shit. It's just a pure
Right.
war movie.
Absolutely.
But like, it's not a good movie. It's pretty boring actually. Like,
Damn,
you get
really?
pretty bored of the violence, and also it just makes Somali people like look like a zombie horde of like,
Yeah.
you know,
I
like they
figured
make
that
them
movie
so
would just
scary.
be straight like propaganda.
It is. It totally is. It starts with a quote that's like, "War is inevitable" from Plato or something like that, and it's just totally like we have
We
to go into
had
these
to do
countries.
it.
We can't live in a world without war. Just it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's just such
part of the game.
Propaganda. Big time propaganda.
Super cool, dude. Super cool.
I mean, some of the action is kind of sick, but it's like war also, and it's a real event that happens. So you're just kind of like, I don't know.
Dude, I remember one thing I was gonna say when you were talking about the Looney Tunes movie or the Space Jam movie, about how they were like talking about how movies are gonna be just like produced through AI, and I mean pretty much anything creative eventually could be produced that way. They already produce music through AI and stuff like that, like metal even. Shit, what was I gonna say? But who was it? There was like a quote saying that like all these movies coming out now. It might have been Scorsese or someone like that. But all these Marvel movies and all that stuff, how they're not really movies. They're just their factory line.
Yeah.
I forget what the term is.
Assembly
Line movies. Yeah. Even though like some of them are fucking good, like Winter Soldier. You know.
Yeah.
But like looking back, more of like it's like more of like the top third of them are genuinely like good, entertaining movies, and then really only the top half of that is like great movies. You know, like Winter Soldier.
I would say like there's probably 5 good movies in the Marvel
in the MCU.
Yeah, there's probably 5 good movies tops. Like that
Iron
first
Man.
Avengers movie was good. Iron Man was good. Endgame is good. Winter Soldier was good. Guardians 1 was good, and that's basically it.
Yeah, and then I would say like
All the other ones are like you can enjoy them, but they're not good movies.
I think like Doctor Strange, you know, Infinity War, right?
I didn't like Infinity War when I first saw it, but I like it more after
As a
Endgame
part-
came out. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Exactly. I like this. I mean, it's really like a one movie type thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like,
And actually, there's quite a bit in Infinity War that I go back and like quite a bit because I think it was. I've said this I think already, but just how they kind of make Thanos like an actual threat.
dude, I just fucking love. I mean, like the opening scene of Infinity War. You know, they open on that ship and like just how
he
it's
fights
shot
the
and
Hulk.
stuff.
Very sick.
Yeah, that's the way that movie opens up is just like legendary. Like you know, it's about to be some insane shit. It's
It's honestly a
Like-
movie that gets better the more you watch it, the
Yeah.
more you go back to it. Like I love the scene where they're on Thanos' old planet and Strange is there and they're talking and they ambush him like, and then Iron Man fights him. Very sick scene.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Very
of good
sick
scenes in it.
scene. I didn't like it when I first saw
But
it.
it was very sick.
Thought this is a little bit too depressing. This is a little bit not so happy.
Not so Raven.
But you go back and you look at that and you say, oh, that might have been actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
So, but
It-
yeah,
it
the
do
point
be,
being that
yeah.
like
It is
the
like
top
that.
6 or 7 or so. A lot of them are insanely overrated though, and then a lot of them are just like mediocre to bad.
Yeah, I mean, like you liked Civil War, like your dad thought that was like the best one they'd ever made, and it's like I watched that and I was just like, this is just so like.
Yeah, I
Boring.
literally haven't watched it in a few years. Like it's been maybe 4+ years, 5
Yeah,
years.
I've thrown it on in the background a couple times, but that's about it.
I don't know. I'd have to rewatch. I haven't watched a ton of them again.
Max,
to
we
actually-
should talk about this. You fucking watched Come and See. That's pretty fucking nuts.
Come on, me.
That
Something
one.
Tony,
That's
you
what I
saw it right
watched.
too, or no? I only seen it.
Come and See. Is that the one with the
no,
insane
it's in it.
close up of the dude on the cover, the kid?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Max,
No.
what'd you think about that?
Dude, that shit was brutal. It's weird. I expected it to be like way more jarring. But like, I don't know. It was a very uneasy watch. Because there were times in that movie where I just like didn't expect to just like feel just like dreadful, like just like an impending sense of dread.
Right.
Like when they're like trudging through the fucking bog, like that's when it all just like hit me. I was just like, oh
Yeah.
fuck. Like it like had such a subtle build up to like, you know, they're just building this tower and like they're just constantly just building it to knock it back down again.
Right.
Cause it like it get every sign of hope in that movie just gets fucking crushed.
It's thrashed.
Yeah, like there is nothing good in that movie.
No, nothing good happens to anybody. In that part where like they're hiding behind the dead horse and the machine gunner is like shooting the dead horse,
Oh,
but
dude,
they're hiding behind
the cow.
It's like the cow. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Same
it's like
diff.
Tony. This movie starts with like a kid in Poland, and like I think he like goes out to go play or in the woods, and then he comes back and like his entire family, like everyone in the village is gone.
Yeah,
And he's like, what the fuck? And so like one of the resistance militia against the Nazis like takes him and is like, I think this is how it happens, right, Max? Like they're like, let's leave.
Oh,
like,
he
finds this girl.
yeah. So so the opening shot is they're digging through like bombing fields and they're looking for like guns or like war fields and they're looking for like guns and shit because like these two kids just want a gun and then they go back to their house and then these two dudes come in, these two militiamen come to collect the kid who was one of the kids digging for guns. And so he's got his gun, he's got all of his shit, and his
And the
mom's
mom's like,
begging
"Don't go,
him,
don't go."
not to go to war. Yeah. So they go off to the camp, and then like they're getting ready to go off to battle, but they make the kid like stay behind. So when he's like hanging out behind, he finds this girl that he starts like hanging out with, and then like like as soon as they like kind of like get into their groove of just hanging out, then like the whole area gets fucking bombed, like just air raid across the whole fucking place. And so they like rush back to the village and they're just like, oh, everyone's gone. There's like a lot of flies around.
Right.
Yeah. And
Lord
then,
of the Flies.
yeah. And
And then they walk away with like this donkey because they're like, oh, everyone left. We got to go regroup with them. And then like, I think it's the girl that is the one that turns around, right?
yep.
The girl turns around and piled up against one of the houses is like a 10-foot stack of every person in the village dead.
Yeah.
Like piled up, their corpses dead. Because
Yeah.
the Nazis just came in and shot every single person.
Yep.
And there's a lot of that. There's like a scene where they pack everyone into a church and then they just like light it on fire and then they like throw hand grenades into the church. There's
Yeah.
like women, children.
Yeah.
Like
They're saying
it's
like, yeah,
insane.
if you leave your kids, you can escape. Like they'll let you out if you leave your kids in there. Like that kind of shit.
Did anyone leave?
No, not really.
Yeah.
No one took them up on
like,
that.
I think
people
someone
are
even
afraid.
tries to take their kid and like
Put them
throw
out.
them out of it, but then they like take it and throw it back in.
Yeah,
They,
throw
like,
'em back
they
in.
take the child and throw it back into the dude. It's one of the
Yeah.
most gnarly.
It's
and
brutal.
it's beautifully shot.
Oh
but
my
it's-
god.
it's horrifying.
Yeah, like the
It's
like the
horrifying.
lead act, like the lead actor, like got fucked up off them. Like they fucked him
Didn't
up.
they use
on
real
them.
bullets?
Yep. They used live ammunition and they actually killed a cow. But it was like a sick cow, so it was going to die anyway.
But there was like a scene where he was like running or something, and they used real bullets to shoot over him.
That was the cow.
To really make it,
That was the cow scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's horrifying.
Yeah, dude.
But-
Bovine scene.
One of the
like-
best movies ever made, though.
And it was the last movie that Homeboy ever made. He was like, I have nothing
Clem
else
was,
to do. He's just like, this is it.
He's like, well, that was it.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yep.
Wild
Anyways.
shit.
Yeah, man. We should take some.
Got some
Max, we'll
cues?
save your thoughts on the crazies for next episode. Let's get some cues going.
That was just a surprise. The Crazies was just a pleasant surprise. It was a fun watch.
Oh, here we go. I don't know if you guys have listened to this, but we can do this one. This comes from Jack again. Well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to read this one. I feel like there's another. Marcus unread. Oh wait, okay. Well, it's about the same thing. Anyways, I'll stop talking. This is from Vapor Rub Boy.
Nice.
Cool.
Subject is thoughts on the new Tyler album. Says,
I really like it.
okay, let me read the question.
Oh. Thought that was it.
For me, so far, it's the best rap album of this year. Oh my god. I don't see any close options yet for Grammy contenders. Also, to Connor and wanting to experience more games as an art medium, I highly recommend diving into From Software games. Yes, I know. I know these fucking games exist. God damn it. Last October, I finally went into Bloodborne after trying it a couple years before and got blown away since I've done everything else. Once you've played one of their games, you realize why everyone is creaming their pants over Elden Ring. Just got into the pod last week and it's my fave now. Dope to listen to dudes in my age range talk about everything from pop culture. Funny as fuck as well, boys. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I know is the answer to that. And Maxwell actually has a PS5 and he has the Dark Souls remaster. He's been playing it a lot. Max, I got to get him on the pod so you two could talk because he loves all those games too.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get Max and Maxwell to sync up on that. But thoughts on the new Tyler album? Have not listened to it all the way through. I skimmed it. Kind of got the idea of it from skimming it. Listened to the NBA Youngboy verse and the Uzi verse. The NBA Youngboy verse is good. I don't think it's as good as people are saying it is. I'm not a Tyler fan. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I never
me
have
neither,
been. I've
really.
never liked him.
I am.
I've always just kind of thought his vibe. It's like I get it. A lot of people relate to it, and he's artistic and expressive, and he's authentic and great. It just doesn't do it for me. I don't know what it is.
I don't mind him.
To me, it
Just doesn't
it
do it
sounds
for
very.
me.
It sounds very just like just hipstery and fucking just. I don't know. I don't think he has very interesting melodies. I'm sorry. Like I don't think his harmonies and melodies are very interesting to me. They never have been.
He's got like, I mean, his whole thing is like his flow, like I don't even know.
Well, no, that wasn't his
like,
last album. Wasn't like that.
Well, that was different though. But this is like Flower Boy, which is like kind of him doing everything he was
Even
trying to
Flower
do before,
Boy.
but actually well. What?
Even Flower Boy was like.
No, I know. I'm
There's
saying this
some
new-
good songs.
thi-
That's about it.
This new album is a lot. I think is like a good sequel to Flower Boy, whereas the last album was like a totally different thing. But even still, his whole thing is just like his, I don't know, just like he has a unique sound. Like he has his own.
Sure, but it's
I
like
think he's very distinguishable in a sea of rappers, you know.
Absolutely.
But
Just
I don't
doesn't-
blame anyone for not liking him because it is like his like specific sound. Like he does like I don't know, just the way he raps is like really like off and like
yeah. I mean, it's just like his raps.
it's clearly very like thought out and like meticulous and highly produced and it's
It's
You
just
can-
like on a
casual.
visceral level, it just doesn't do it for me.
Well,
That's
it's like
really
you
what
have
it
to
is.
like him for the art to make sense. I don't like him. I don't find him likable. I never have. That's the problem. I don't like him. I think he's like that loud kid who gets all the attention and is like very like, oh, that's Tyler. Like I've always found him annoying, and I think that's really what it is. And his music is him. So it's like if you don't think he's dope, then you're not gonna be like, yeah, Tyler, tell him about how much money you're getting. Like I don't care. I don't care. I don't care you're gay. I don't care about any of that. It's not interesting to me. He's not interested.
I don't really care about any of the hype around him or any of what anyone else says. Like, I think I like him because of those things that I said, but I don't think that they're reasons you have to like him though. Like,
no,
if you don't like,
you have to like
sound
him.
that he had. I'm a big fan of Flower Boy and of the new album. The album before is not so much what I'm into because it's really soft, but
yeah, I mean, people were talking about Igor like it was a masterpiece, and it's like, okay, it's just I'll never be able to relate to it. It's like Kanye West. You don't have to like him to like his music. That's actually a feature of Kanye West, is that he can be so unlikable in so many ways, but he'll still put out good music. I mean, that's not the case anymore. That was dead after Life of Pablo, really. Like that Ye album and Kids See Ghosts was like his swan song in my opinion. But like he's got this album coming out. Well, it was supposed to come out yesterday, I guess. Is it even out?
Nope.
I mean, he's the king. Yeah, fuck you, man. I'm so sick of him. Fuck you. You're a fucking loser. Like, just be a billionaire and shut the fuck up. Your music's trash. So it's like Kanye. It's like you could be annoyed with him, but like you can still be like, wow, he's a fucking genius. That's not how I feel about Tyler. I don't think he's a fucking genius. I think he's like a smart kid who's inspired by geniuses and is aspiring to be considered a genius. I'm never going to consider him that. I'm never going to think of him as a genius. Like, I certainly won't. I mean, it's just
he's got some big brands and festivals and shit. He's like pretty
great.
No,
great.
I think he's pretty smart. Right? Successful
He's
guy.
very smart. He's stylish. Good for him. I just don't like him. I don't like his music. It's just what it is. I mean,
right.
I can remember like seeing the Odd Future videos and just being like, they like think what they're doing is so dope. Like they think what they're doing is so fucking dope, and that just like exudes. And it's like with Kanye, because I'm gonna compare him to that because that's their whole inspiration. It's lifted directly from him and the Neptunes. Kanye, it's like you're pissed off because you know you'll never be that great at something. Or you'll never be that great at that thing in the way he is great at that. Like, he is pure obsessive genius. Tyler is like a great business person, a great promoter, a great online personality. To me, he's not a great musician. He's an annoying person. So that's how I feel about it. But I understand that's a really unpopular opinion, and I'll take any criticism for having that opinion. I don't care. You can call me a lame. I don't care. So
I'm not gonna die on the hill of saying that they're like the two best albums ever, but I do like this new album as a sequel to Flower Boy, as an answer to the question at hand.
Yeah.
Also,
I think
to the question.
I don't know how you feel, Max, but like I don't always feel like the mix is quite has that sort of like high end thickness that you would get from other albums. It feels a little hollow to me at sometimes, but that could be my ears.
I mean, I'm not familiar enough with any of his material to even speak on the production.
You listen to Flower Boy though.
No.
So I mean, what do you think, Max? How do you
about
feel?
Tyler the Creator?
Yeah,
he exists. He's just kind of there. A lot of people like him.
He does a little bit more than existing, but I know
he's
what you mean.
fine. Like he exists in the facet of he will be remembered as a guy who exists. I feel like he.
All right.
This insight's getting a little too deep.
Yeah, we're going a little too hard. No, it's just he's trying to be the next person. I think he has a large sphere of influence, and
This motherfucker just said he's trying to be the next person.
Like Kanye, like he's just trying to be the next person. Yes, he's trying to be the next.
Bro, he will never ever touch that ever.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Ever.
He didn't create a wave. I don't feel like. I feel like he created a very big fan club. Is what I think he did.
Yes.
Is what I think he did.
That is very well said.
Because I don't think he's influencing a lot of other creatives to be creative. I think he's influencing a lot of other people to be consumers. Yeah.
And be Tyler fans. Yeah, Kanye is like, his influence is so broad, so impactful. It's absurd. And it's like, Tyler's never going to make even one song that's as good as Kanye West. Like you'll never touch that. And it's like, because he's just one guy who does this phenomenon of just having your own style. It's like they throw wreaths at him like in Roman times. They throw accolades. No, listen.
Comparison.
No, but it's like this is watch in 10, 15 years they're going to talk about the two of them in the same breath. They are.
Okay.
They're going to consider him like his level. And why? It's because music in general standards have gotten worse as time goes by. So when someone does just baseline what every artist should be doing, he's considered like a fucking genius. So what I'm saying is like, yeah, it's just what Max said.
He exists.
He exists. Let's end this fucking episode. Everyone's gonna kill me, even though no one listens to this podcast. But
that's not true.
That's not true.
He asked a question.
It's not
I do
true.
get some people on the street that are like, I listen to the pod too, man. So that's good.
Oh, well, that's nice.
That's
Wow.
nice.
I didn't even promote Woke and Boke when I was on that other podcast. I should have. I didn't even get a chance to. Whatever.
They're probably like, damn, that's pretty humble of him.
Bro.
Got humble points.
That's a big slice of humble pie. I like that, Tony. Anyways, you fucking morons. If you got to the end of this, that tells me something. That tells me that you're enjoying what we do. Do me a fucking favor. Subscribe, spread the word, tell your friends, follow us on our socials. All the links to those are in the description of this. Subscribe to the YouTubes, follow the Spotify. Even if you don't listen that often or watch that often, just do it. Just fucking do it. And also have a good day, guys. It was a blast. We'll talk to you guys next week. Send us more questions. I do appreciate the question. I got no hate for Tyler, the Creator fans, really. I think generally every person that likes Tyler, the Creator is like that I've met is a pretty chill person. So
Yeah.
that is one thing. But he's not that good. But anyways,
But he sucks dick.
but he sucks.
I love that.
Anyways, talk to you guys later. This was Woke and Boke. Peace the motherfucking cunt out. Bye.